Well, hello, my friends. I wanted to jump on and make a post here about this past weekend. It was an amazing experience, an opportunity for me to break away from the norm of my everyday professional life and go back to what I love to do. And hopefully this will be a catalyst to more work to come, and that's teaching. I was able to teach some Pennsylvania State Constables this past weekend up in Berlin, Pennsylvania, up in the woods at my brother-in-law and my sister's cabin. A beautiful little spot tucked away and hid. And then Saturday and Sunday, I trained a group of people that I can hardly say are clients. They are more like family to me now. They are more than just students. They are my people, my tribe, if you will. I love them. They're special to me because along my career in the last 5 years, I have grown to love these folks and connect with these people in ways that I can't really just amazing ways that I can't really describe. I just have grown that close to them, and I care about them that much. And we're able to train walking right out the front door of this cabin where we're all staying, fellowship, breaking bread together, enjoying one another's company. We're able to walk right out the front door and train there, and it has been a blessing. If you're interested in something like that, if you want to get involved, we can set a date and do some training. So I'm going to try to set another date coming up and open the door. Or if you have an area close to you and you'd like to train and you want to experience that, and what is that? That is what I call a combination of faith, fitness, fighting, and firearms. Well, not necessarily all of them, but depending on what you are interested in, the fitness part sometimes takes a back seat because, well, frankly, we either got injuries, we just don't have that motivation, and we would rather just really focus on getting better at shooting. It's all good. Ain't no big deal. I can do that too. And I gotta really change, if you will, my focus on honing the fitness back in a little bit more. But the fighting and the firearms piece is something that I am continuing to develop. This past weekend was more about mental and emotional preparedness piece of the fighting, self-defense, behavioral profiling, pre-assault indicators, and then tied in with some pistol and some carbine work, working on some fundamentals. We haven't done that in a while. We were doing some more advanced stuff, and then we've gone back to the basics for this past weekend, working the pistol, working malfunctions, working mag changes, just accuracy, working grip, side alignment, side picture, just going back to the fundamentals, Drew Brees style, if you will. And then with the carbine, working those malfunctions. The biggest piece of the puzzle with that M4 or AR-15 platform is making sure it works. Really, anybody can shoot it accurately. It's hard not to. It's a precise gun. It works really well. But if it don't work, you can't shoot it. You can't be accurate with it, right? And it's really hard to do when it's a two-way range. Think about it. So that's what we focused on, and looking back over the past weekend, I just want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed the time and the opportunity to teach these folks, and it was a blessing that they would spend their hard-earned money to come up and train with me. And then we fellowship around the big table and just talked about life in general, everything that people are dealing with, and just enjoyed the fellowship. I first saw this type of concept through Mickey Shook, Kerry Trainer, down in Myrtle Beach. He did an event there, and he's still doing this event, similar event, and actually taking it way beyond anything that I would imagine I could do at this point, but he definitely has stepped it up big time and really put the effort into entertaining and just being the host with the most with these folks and catering, etc., and just making it an all-around experience. So this is kind of like that in a macro, or rather a micro sense. But if you're interested in something like that, reach out to me. I really like drilling down to the why behind the what when it comes to training and the F's, the 4 F's that I envision are important, that I live by. Sometimes some of those disciplines take a back seat to the others at times, and you just got to kind of keep working on moving the ball forward, if you will, in all areas of it. So consider those things and just keep it real, right? Keep it real, man. Don't put unrealistic expectations on your ability to move that. Just moving the ball forward, just moving down the line, moving step by step, day by day, incrementally getting better and better. That's the goal. That's the agenda. So don't get right around the axles about, how do you grow? How do you get better? Sometimes you got to travel and you got to step outside of your comfort zone. I've got clients, students, friends here that have trained with me over the years, in the last years, that came from brand new, squeaky clean new with guns and firearms, and really stepped out of their comfort zone and just grown and gotten better and better and better. And they made that step of faith of trusting me and continuing to train with me, and I appreciate that. And that's what it takes. That you find somebody that you work well with, and then you got to venture out and train with other people as well. Don't just get stuck training with one individual all the time. You hear it from a different perspective. Grow that way. You can only get better, right? But and I'll go back again to what I believe is important, is that it's like old 1 John 4 says, in old King James, it says, try the spirits to see whether they be of God. You got to try people out and find out what they're made of, and see and pay attention to them. These days, they should be pretty transparent. You got YouTube, you got Facebook, you got all these other platforms that you can really just, check people out before you go train with them. And then talk to people, ask people, hey, what's the scoop with this person, that person? And so that's what you've got to do. You cannot just rely on some fancy schmancy post on Instasham or Ratbook, and it's all glamored and bedazzled, and there looks fancy footwork and really fast shooting, and it's edited and all that crap. Man, listen, I miss, okay? I shoot, I miss. I'm not the best shooter in the world, but I promise you this, I'm one of the best teachers that I believe I'm a good teacher. I'm a good teacher. I'm able to reach people, okay? I enjoy what I do, but I love teaching. And there's a difference. And one of my clients was talking about that, how she trained with another instructor, and she could tell he really just doesn't love it. He does it because it's a job. And that's unfortunate, and he's probably a good teacher. It sounds like he is, but again, you get stuck in the mud. You get to a point where it just becomes a job. And fortunately for me, I haven't gotten to that point. I've had times where it becomes a chore, but when I get on the range, or when I get in the classroom, or I get on the mats and I start teaching, man, I'm blessed by it. Especially preaching God's word, man. It's an amazing thing to see the light bulbs coming on in people's eyes, and to experience people genuinely just loving and learning and wanting to know more and hungry for it, and just engaged in what you're teaching. On the range, when you see something click in somebody, you really pay attention to someone, and you're really doing the due diligence to help them grow and to coach them and help them learn at their speed, right? You move at their pace. You move at their ability to absorb the information. You understand that there is a point of diminishing return, and when you need to stop, and when you need to slow down, or maybe and where you need to speed up and move to a different, drill, or whatever the case may be. You don't get stuck right? Driving something, drilling something so hard that people start to come unraveled, and it's a waste of time. So that's where I think it's important. I think that's what really matters in teaching someone. And of course, for me, and I'm due to do some training myself with someone else. Sometimes the teacher, always the student. That's the mindset that I learned many, many years ago, 25 years ago, right as I began my career, my journey in teaching. I learned that you always have to grow. You always have to learn. You got that bucket of water and you're pouring it out and giving other people that water, that precious water. Eventually you look down and that thing is empty. So you've got to refill it. You've got to grow. You got to sharpen the saw, right? 7 Habits, sharpen the saw. You've got to give 100%, but you've got to also be mindful of where you are mentally and emotionally, right? And these are important factors. I love teaching people. I love teaching new people. You see so much more growth. You see so much more enjoyment out of someone when they start out and they really start to grasp the concepts and the principles. And then they go out on their own and then they come back to you and we train again and I teach, and then I see the growth. I see the joy, you know, I see the aha moment, you know. I love that stuff. And I want to share that with more people. I want to do this more. I want to teach more. Now's the training season. It's starting to cool off. I've got a range in my backyard down in Horry County, South Carolina. If anybody's interested and they want to learn more, they want to reach out, they can reach out here, post in the comments. I'll post my email in here so you can reach out to me, and then we can text or make a phone call from there, and I'll talk to you personally and we can set something up. We can do a group. You tell me what you want to do, what you're interested in. I'll set up a class coming up soon. I'll put a schedule out soon and post some classes coming up on Saturdays. And we'll make some fun stuff come soon, especially as this weather starts to cool off and we see some beautiful sunny days down here in South Carolina. So anyway, my friends, I hope this message gets out to who needs to hear it. I hope that those that have decided to start following this page will share it, like it, and give me that thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Help me out. Help me out with growing this thing. If you think that you want to see other people hear what and you know, share what and see these videos, share them. You know, if you want to see this thing grow and you want to see more of this real content, real training for real people and real places, man. That's my mindset. I'm transparent and real. I'm not perfect. And I've done some high-speed stuff and I've done lots of low-speed stuff. I've found myself in some scary situations and found my way out of it by the grace of God and just good old-fashioned training and horse sense, man. Thinking clearly, right? Train, prepare yourself so when things do go bad, you're prepared for them, all right? So like, subscribe rather, and share, and give me a thumbs up in this thing, and give me a comment down below. Hope all you well, and I hope to see you in the comments, and I hope to see you in some training soon. God bless you. Have a great Monday.